3, 2, 1. What's happening? Why is...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hasenbeck Incorporated. Give us any chance, we'll take it.
If any rule could break it, we're gonna make our dreams come true.
It's the
Doing it our way. It's gonna turn us back now. We're heading on the track now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. We're gonna always something we won't try. Never heard the word impossible. There's no stopping us. We're gonna do it. Get set and go now. Straight ahead, and we just know now. We're gonna make our dream come true. We'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make all our dreams come true. And we'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make all our dreams come true. For me and you. Penny Marshall passed away today. And I got sad because I am a big old nerd who watched Laverne and Shirley. You know,
Nerd.
no, it was dude, I'm young enough. I'm old enough. Sorry. I'm old enough that Laverne and Shirley was it was live. It was actually not live, it was studio recorded. But it was like legitimately like one of the shows I would watch. I believe it was every Tuesday night. Was it Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, if I remember correctly. And then, you know, she went on to be just a really phenomenal director. Honestly, I can't think of what her politics were, so hopefully she wasn't a bleeding heart SJW, but wow, yeah. She was this part of my childhood. You know, just like all the Happy Days guys and Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Pepper Incorporated, right? Gosh, it was such a great show. I loved it. And, you know, who didn't love Laverne? I'm trying to remember. Narwhal, are you even old enough?
Old enough for what?
To remember Laverne and Shirley?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm 32. I don't really remember Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, man. All right. How about the movie Big?
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid.
How about A League of Their Own?
Yeah. So she directed those movies?
She directed those movies, yeah. She was Lenny and Squiggy. Hello! Yeah, those guys were great. Lenny was, did you watch, not Breaking Bad, the other one, Better Call Saul?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay. Because the guy who played Lenny ends up playing, what's his face's older, more successful brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I feel like I have to explain everything to you. So Laverne and Shirley was a spin-off of Happy Days. Like they were characters that originated on Happy Days, and then they were so popular that they got their own TV show. It was just about these two girls, and then they had these two really weird neighbors, Lenny and Squiggy, and hijinks ensued. But it was a really good, really fun show. I was just saying before you came on that, you know, I was a kid, so like as a kid, I don't know, it's a weird thing. I had the same kind of a feeling when Davy Jones died from the Monkees, because it was like something I'd watch like literally every day, because they had the reruns on every day. You know, I'm old enough that I got to watch these when they were on TV, like not live, but prime time.
Yeah.
But then for not just those years, but for years after, they would run them as reruns, and I would watch these things all the time. Yeah, like Different World, Cosby Show. People are naming different things. And so it's just bizarre. I mean, you don't know these people, but and maybe you don't even think about them for the last 20 years, but then you hear one of them dies and you're like, yeah, Laverne is dead. Laverne died. Penny Marshall has passed away. She has gone to that great director's chair in the sky.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of nostalgia. Because
Yeah.
there's nostalgia where you're just pining for the childhood, but then it comes up differently when they're gone forever or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I was freaking, when Davy Jones died from the Monkees, that was like devastating. I loved the Monkees. I went and saw the Monkees live when I was a kid. I still have the T-shirt. I was probably in like 7th, 8th grade, something like that. So it's a kid-sized shirt, but it's probably the first concert I ever went to go see. Like my parents dropped me and my brother off to go to a concert when we were that young. But it was
Different times.
different times, man. Different times. I wonder what this generation is.
It's for me. It's gonna be Alex Jones. When he dies, I'm gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. Well, I guess for like my daughter, it would be someone from The Office.
Oh yeah, definitely like
Right.
Steve Carell or something. Or
Yeah, because I swear she has watched that entire series like 5 times. But see, when I was a kid, there was no Netflix. There was nothing like that. I mean, there was a VCR, but so you'd watch. I mean, if you were a kid and watched as much TV as I did, because all I did was sit in front of the TV, draw, and watch TV. So I would see these reruns over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I've watched MASH all the way through, or Laverne and Shirley, or Happy Days, or Night Court, or like all these shows.
yeah, it makes you like like you're part of that clan, and you can meet like. The Office is definitely one where people can hang their whole lives on it. People have watched it 5, 6 times. And another one like that where I don't necessarily like the clan so much is like Harry Potter. So like if an Office watcher meets a Harry Potter watcher, they're gonna start snapping in the alleyway, Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. She died this morning, or the news was announced this morning, but I didn't hear about it until I was like at my daughter's acting class, and I had to be quiet because I wasn't even supposed to be looking at my phone, and I was just like overwhelmed with this grief. I mean, not like grief like I knew the person that died, but just
there's definitely a connection to those characters, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and it's different because like some people, like I watched a bunch of Simpsons, but so it might like if a voice actor, if like Hank Azaria died.
Yeah, when Phil Hartman died, that was heartbreaking. Yeah.
It's a little like, but I think Jerry Seinfeld might hit me. I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld too. Oh, that would kill me, man.
I've been watching his show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I got to watch some more of that.
Hey, congrats, by the way. Have you talked to the chat about Ben Shapiro
I
yet?
have not gone. I wanted to punctuate the day. So, this morning's stream, I did cross-examinations this morning, as I do every morning. And the first half of it was just littered with this ridiculous Twitter battle between me and someone I'll call a former comics gator. I don't even want to name him at this point. But it was just hours of that, and it just freaking sucked up my day. And I mean, he's still attacking me on Facebook probably right now as we speak. But he blocked me on Twitter, and I blocked him back just for good measure.
A double block.
Yeah, and then I checked my email, and I noticed that I got an email from Ben Shapiro. I actually, so this is the backstory. I was watching some Ben Shapiro stuff yesterday, and he was, taking questions from a crowd, and some kid in the crowd is like, "Hey, have you read the blah 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 study on da 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 da?" And Ben's like, "No, I haven't, but I've been very interested to hear about it. Send it to my email." And he blurted out his email on this video, and I'm like,
nice. See, you got the hustle. You're hustling. I saw you were tweeting at PewDiePie, I think, right? Like these are good ideas.
Yeah,
something will hit.
Yeah. And so, I emailed him and I told him who I was, and I was like, you probably know about the video game, and you might even know about the comic because I know you're a comic fan. And he got, dude, I emailed him at 3. He emailed me back at 5 yesterday. I didn't even notice it until today.
Cool.
And I emailed him back, when he emailed me, he said, "Yeah, let's talk." And so I emailed him for a time, and then I called him, and then he was like getting in the car or something. So he called me back like 20 minutes later, and we had a good little chat. Very
about comics.
Talk about what it's about.
Oh yeah.
But suffice it to say, we're on the same page on a lot of stuff. I mean, I love the kid to death. I would freaking vote for that guy for president in a heartbeat, And I told him, like, the beginning of the conversation was me, I was talking, and I noticed I was nervous, and I was like, "Dude, I'm actually nervous here." And he's, "Oh, no. Then I'm like, all right, let me just put this on the table. I can't wait to vote for you for president." And he's just busted up laughing. So he's like, that like cleared the air, and we were good just talking from that point out.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, he's like real famous, kind of, especially, he's part of the intellectual dark web. He's like,
he is. He's got like 4.5 million Facebook followers, 1.7 million on Twitter, I think. And I think 450,000 on YouTube.
Yeah. Isn't he a virtuoso fiddle player too, or something? Yeah,
there's film out there of him when I believe he was 12 years old. Just
yeah.
I think he was on Phil Donahue, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, cool.
Like way back in the day. I loved Phil Donahue, even though he was a nut. Ethan beat you to it. He talks to Shapiro all the time, apparently.
Ethan's stealing your thunder. Of course he is.
Well, I talked to Ben about Ethan, and I don't think that's how he would qualify it. But he has talked to Ethan.
Yeah, you guys are kind of a team, so Ben's kind of helping the whole team.
Yeah. Well, Ethan's got a little more clout than I do.
Yeah, Ethan even has a connection with Jordan Peterson.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he did the artwork for his book.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson. Yeah, I was watching some Jordan Peterson videos yesterday too.
Yeah. That guy's famous too. Like more and more.
Yeah. He's definitely I'd like to meet that guy. My son and daughter, maybe just my son, met him at a signing, but it was just like the quick sign the book, shake the hand. So
yeah.
I got his book signed. I'm gonna get Ethan to sign the same book at some point.
Oh, nice.
There's probably only a handful signed by Jordan and Ethan.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be a good one. I got a copy of that book. I've been reading it a little bit. I enjoy
it. Falling into Destiny says, "Let Mike have this, man." And Hedrock goes, "Okay, fine. Mike and Shapiro, BFF." Now, we had about a 10-minute conversation. We will talk again soon. He volunteered to put my stuff up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and
he did.
So I sent him my links and whatnot, and so
cool. Yeah, sounds like he's in it to win it with the culture war. He kind of understands comics is like a front on that. You got to help it. Got to work on it.
Yeah, and he loves comics, so
yeah,
that mention freaking blew my Twitter up to a crazy level.
Nice.
Let's see where are we at now.
Have you heard of Notch, the programmer?
I have. Actually, our friend, why, what about him?
Well, he's kind of in the culture war too. He did Minecraft, right? So
yeah,
I've always thought about that. It takes someone like you or Ethan to reach out to him. I tweet at him once in a while and he'll sometimes respond, but he won't really talk to me, but you guys should reach out to him sometime too.
Well, there's someone in our chat that talks to him fairly regularly.
Oh,
in the private chat room we're in.
Nice.
And then
yeah.
Then there's someone else in our private chat room who talks to PewDiePie.
Oh, that's cool.
I've already got that working.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
That would be phenomenal. Man, if we could just line up all of the I don't even necessarily want to say right wing, just the not psychotic SJW people in who are taking over social media, right? Forget the old school mainstream media. That's a dinosaur. But the new media, the shining stars of the new media who agree with us fundamentally, and we could work together with them. Oh my gosh. Forget Marvel and DC. We could blow the doors off of this place.
Yeah, that does kind of sound like, if we're talking about like when people say phase 2 or season 2, that would be like a big evolution for Comicsgate to kind of to overlap like a Venn diagram in the culture war with like the Notches and the Ben Shapiros and stuff.
Yeah, what's Notch's? I mean, do you know anything about him? What's his take on the culture war? I don't know anything about the guy besides the fact that he owns a $60 million house and lives in its basement or something.
Yeah. Well, so I think he was kind of involved in Gamergate, and he was like us. He's like, we're on the side of Comicsgate. He was, I guess, on the side of Gamergate. And so he would be, I don't know if he likes comics necessarily, but he ought to. If he doesn't, we could pitch him to him.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want. Well, he couldn't do Minecraft, and I wouldn't want to, anyways.
Yeah, he sold those rights. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but if there was some other thing,
yeah, he's posts like about a new project once in a while. The whole story of Minecraft, that was one thing I was thinking, like you could do, if it's like PewDiePie, even some of the most interesting aspects are just their biography. So we could do a comic biography of either of those people, and it'd be a really good comic, kind of, if they give us interviews or give them the rights to to tell that story.
Yeah, unless they have other stuff they want to do and they just want to use their platforms to, blow it up. Because, I mean, imagine if Shapiro does a comic and promotes it on his social media.
Yeah, that would blow up.
That would explode. Yeah, that would be fun. Good times had by all. Good times had by all. So of the 61 viewers here, how many of you have liked this stream? What is wrong with this computer? Check out Paul Joseph Watson's vids on TikTok.
What's TikTok?
I don't know. I've never heard of TikTok.
TikTok.
I don't agree with Peterson's religious commentary. Some people should just stick to their particular fields. It doesn't make them an expert on everything in life. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his position or it just seems like he's constantly trying to avoid answering the question.
he's kind of like fake Christian. Like he'll say we need Christianity because society would break down without it, and like it created this foundation for all civilization. So it's all these lessons in it are great, but then
the power of it.
Yeah, but as he's explaining that, he's sort of explaining away the actual like faith part. He kind of skips over that. He goes with like that we need it and like the logic behind why we need it, and he just doesn't, like you said, doesn't mention God like being real or whatever.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you mean by God and what you mean by real. At this point, he's starting to sound like Bill Clinton. It depends on what the definition of is. It's like, no, dude, do you believe in God? Well, what is your blah, blah? And then he says it depends on what your definition is, and then he never answered the question. So I think he's just too wishy-washy on that front. Bedtime for Bonzo. Good night, Isaac.
Okay.
End your game.
Look at this. Can I bring some tape?
Got any kids? Noel?
No. One day.
One day, and then every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone said comics is a nice, clear touch point litmus paper for the culture war. Comics, as has been proven at least for the past couple of decades, is, and I mean, really, if you want to go back further, you can. Comics is the seed that you drop in the ground and water that becomes the tree that shapes culture. Right? The high concept, the characters, the stories, the message of comics, very well, obviously not often enough, becomes the media that the mass culture consumes.
Yeah, especially like after Marvel, now it's pretty much floating straight through that pipe to the top there, kind of. You want to feed the pipe.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a rebuilding period, and this is a great time to get in on a ground floor sort of rebuilding time for the next wave and the next generation of comics that will be feeding into the larger, more expensive media outlets. It is R&D. Comics are R&D for visual storytelling, and we gotta do the hard work now, and it'll pay off later.
Yeah. Comics are it's at first glance like low stakes culturally, but those are kind of the battles you want to win because those are the ones where you can kind of go all out with the arguments. And like even with She-Ra, like I'll argue with my buddy about She-Ra, and he's like, "Why do you even care?"
Why don't you care?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna watch it, but yeah, I mean this is the battle, this is the war.
Sorry, a friend of mine's asking how the Ben Shapiro thing came along, and I'm like, dude, why aren't you watching my show?
Get in here, get on here.
Get up on it. Grab it like you want it. Aquaman this Thursday. Aloha, Rhaegar. Mike just hates all Canadians. That's not true. Come on. I love Canadians. I just hate Canada. No, just kidding.
Have you reminisced about the other night with Kelsey yet? Have you? That was pretty darn funny.
Suffice to say, I will not be sending him a link. That guy was so funny. Did you watch that whole thing?
Yeah, I guess I actually missed it when he came on the second time. So I watched to like 3.5 hours or something.
You invested 3.5 hours.
Me and 280 other people.
It's crazy.
He tweeted the next day, a kind of funny tweet. He said something like, it sucks that people are considering it so epic because we used to do shit like that all the time at conventions and it doesn't happen anymore. It's a real bummer," something like that. And I was like, man, I'd go to a convention and meet all you guys and have some beers with you or whatever. But
yeah, I remember back in the day, man, WonderCon was a show like that because when it was back in Oakland, it was at the Marriott, right? So you had the con and the hotel that all the guests were staying in and the bar that everybody hung out in, all in the same building. And so it was like condensed. And just like, you know, you'd walk up to the bar and Jeff Johnson's there and Dan Panosian and Jim Lee and freaking Sergio Aragones and Neil Gaiman. Just everybody's there at the bar and we're all just hanging out. And it was like right at the beginning of my career. That was fun stuff, man. That was fun stuff. It hasn't been like that at any of the shows that I can think of. I mean, sometimes in San Diego, you know, you can get a decent group of people up to like the Hyatt or something. But it was just so, that setup at the Marriott and at WonderCon was just so right there, you know?
yeah.
Like people come down from their rooms, they go to that bar. And it's like, it wasn't like spread out over a city or anything like that. That was good times.
That's awesome. What do you think the probability or chances are maybe in 2019 of like a comic skate, we rent out a meeting room, you know, somewhere in Texas or something, and do a convention?
The chances, someone with more time in our hands than most of us have, would have to do it. And I think if he could fly us all out, I think a central location would be better for most of us. Because we are coast to coast, you know.
Yeah, from all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking about that. That'd be cool to like meet you and Ethan and Doug and John and everyone else. But
it would be. That'd be a great. Be like we could do like a high school photo.
Yeah, I like the idea of what you guys got planned for Christmas. Maybe though, are you in on those plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I did my bit. I
Nice.
did my bit. The Kelsey experience. Your friends don't watch your show, but we do. We're your real friends.
You know what just happened to me earlier tonight? I went to a 7-Eleven. It's a different store than the 7-Eleven though. I can't remember what they're called, but I was just getting some chips, and the lady in front of me, the guy's checking her out. He's really friendly, and he's like, "So how's your night?" And she's like, "Well, my neighbor is this. He works for Marvel, and he created Gwen Stacy. His name's Robbie. So I just saw his movie or something like that." And I was like, she's talking about Robbie Rodriguez, and this is in my neighborhood. So like he's
Robbie Rectum.
Yeah.
Robbie Rectum lives in your neighborhood.
Yeah. In Portland.
Ugh. That's right. I forgot you were in Portland. Which part again?
Like Hawthorne, Powell.
Oh, okay.
Southeast, I think it's called. Yeah. Yeah. I just met another comic skate dude who lives in Beaverton today. We met up for the first time in person. That was kind of cool. We said hi and drew together at a coffee shop.
Beaverton. No, he wouldn't be comic skate. Randy Emberlin lives over there, over in Bethany.
Oh, cool. There's lots of artists around, but I'm never sure. Yeah. Like the SJW runs deep.
Yeah. Gary Martin lives up there. He's one of us.
Cool.
And Aaron Lopresti. He's one of us. I don't want to out him too much. Aaron Lopresti's one of us. You're out, dude. But yeah. At some point, if I can afford it, I'm hiring Aaron away from whatever the hell he's working on because he's such a great artist.
Yeah, were you sharing some of his Instagram art the other day, maybe, or that was someone else?
I don't know. I haven't been on Instagram much lately.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been a couple weeks ago, I'm thinking. But yeah.
Then I might have. Well, you can't share on Instagram.
I think you were just screen sharing like an artist's Instagram saying you wanted to hire them, and I wondered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I love Aaron's art. I think he's one of the, what do you call it? The he doesn't get the recognition he deserved.
Oh yeah. What, underappreciated? I don't know.
There you go. That's one way of putting it.
Unsung.
Unsung. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Falling into Destiny says, "Thank you, Mike, for inviting Kelsey to Cecil's quick Spider-Man review the other night. I still haven't done my Spider-Man review."
Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, I want to see it still.
Oh man, it is a visual tour de force in stylistic animation. There has not been. I mean, it takes so much. It borrows from everyone, and then it just becomes its own thing, and it's like a living, breathing comic book. It's really, really well done. I was surprised I liked it as much as I did, because when I saw the trailers, I was really kind of pensive about it. I was like, because it just looked like it could go the wrong way so easily. But boy, that they buttoned that thing up tighter than a freaking. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, a lot of times animated movies, they have kind of interesting scripts because they'll have like 10 storyboard artists kind of writing it instead of one screenwriter. So I'm always curious if it can feel often like tighter, or it can have better flow, but sometimes less of a big picture. But that one sounds like they got it right.
Yeah, and then I mean, the stylistic. Almost like a borderline stop motion effect, but with smoothly drawn animation, so that it played not as smooth. I mean, you've seen the trailers. It doesn't play as smooth as like Toy Story level CG, because it's like it's 24 frames per second.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Right? It plays like 24 frames, and they don't blend together. They're like, frames. It's the way they did it. It was, I didn't know if I would enjoy that, because it seemed so gimmicky in the commercial. But boy, when you get into that, you get into it, and it just feels so good. I don't know what. I don't think it would have been as good if they'd have just done the standard flowing, kind of animation stuff. It just, it felt more handmade or something. I don't know. Cool. It's hard to discuss.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Aloha, all covering down on a demolition project tonight, says Edwin Boyette. Congratulations, Mike, on the endorsement today. Yeah, boy. I don't know if you caught it earlier, Edwin. I explained how that all happened. There was even the pixels of old comics. Yeah, they did the half tone. And what was cool is they did the half tone in sort of different gradients. Like they do sort of a moderate half tone, like on faces and whatnot, and then they do like larger format halftone as just stylistic giant gradations. Gosh, it was so great. I mean, you could probably cut out the frames from a third of that movie and just make prints out of them that you'd want on your wall. It looked just so great.
It kind of sounds like you want to see it again too.
I do want to see it again, and two of my kids haven't seen it yet, so I'll probably just take them.
That's one of the easiest tests. If you see a movie twice in theaters, then it's really good.
Yeah. And I had to go see it in 3D because we had a limited time frame. So I couldn't get the cheaper one, so I had to pay. It was me, the three little ones, and my mom, and it was $73. And I was like, ugh. All right. But
that's the family life for you.
yeah. Yeah. Well, usually it's my whole family and my mom. And it ends up being like 80 something. But yeah, we were missing 3 people. And it was $73.
But now you got an excuse to see it twice.
Yeah. Very true. Let's see. I love this tasty slice of Samurai Viking Mike steak. Share it out, brothers and sisters. Yeah, if you haven't shared it, please share it. If you haven't liked it, please like it. This is a very low turnout for the Aloha Hour. Am I starting too late? It is 11:16. Oh man, the theater got Mike's back hole. It was worth it. It was worth it. The kids loved it. So CJM says, I think they want to break up Peterson's support with divisive topics because they want polarization. If the average man is polarized, they're easier to control. Who is they? I still love and support Jordan Peterson. I just don't like dude, you can't agree with anybody 100% of the time. It's just it's not reality, you know? I don't agree with my wife 100% of the time. So that I can disagree with how Jordan Peterson discusses religious faith, God, the deity of Jesus Christ. Well, then.
Yeah, and like he had that crappy tweet about Kawana, but yeah, like these are just like he'll mess up once in a while. That's no big deal, really.
It's not a person. He's not a perfect man. He's no Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Mark C for $2. Mike, props on the Shapiro mention. Yes, thank you very much. I'm gonna bug him about doing another one tomorrow.
Sweet.
I definitely want to see the Spider-Verse again. Worth the money. Yep. Everyone messes up. Jordan Peterson, lobsters, the hierarchy of lobsters.
Yeah, that's one difference between like the crazy commies, the SJWs, is to them an apology is an admission of guilt, or that's how they take it. And that's why one thing I kind of like about Comicsgate, like you and Ethan will forgive people, you know. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, even our crazed lunatic friend from this morning, if he were to calm down and be rational and apologize and somehow climb off the ledge, I would forgive him. I mean,
yeah, he's doubling down, and that's another thing SJWs do is doubling down. It's kind of the opposite of an apology, is a double down. You have an opportunity to do one or the other, and yeah, it was so bananas because all I did was say, you know, he was saying stuff that I felt was just very unchristlike, and so I just I thought it was gently. I just put WWJD. You know, it's like, hey, what would Jesus do here? Yeah.
And he took it as an attack, and then he flipped out and just attacked me for hours and hours on end until he finally blocked me on Twitter, and then he went and started attacking me on Facebook. I'm like, dude, don't you have a family or something to take care of?
Yeah, he's got too much free time. He's a novelist, so he writes in the morning.
And then he called. Then when the not Jordan Peterson, when the Ben Shapiro tweet came out, he called him the little cuck, backing me like the major cuck or something like that. And I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? And then he wouldn't.
Yeah. He's doing it wrong. Like, have you heard the term kayfabe? It's like used in pro wrestling and stuff. And some people attribute it kind of to Trump, but it's like fake drama is one sort of what it means. And like that's an aspect of Comicsgate. And some of it's like War Campaign versus Wolf campaign is like kayfabe, you know, and Donald and Nasser always bickering is kind of kayfabe, and Ethan kind of does it too, and it'll help like boost your channel. It's like one way to get an audience because it's entertaining, but you can't like do it super mean and ridiculous like you're actually crazy. That's what the man in question is doing right now.
Yeah, I think so. Mark C for $5. Still want Peterson for prime minister and Shapiro for president. Can you imagine a world? 2024, President Ben Shapiro and Prime Minister Jordan B. Peterson. And all of the Western Hemisphere is healed. James Deans for $2 says, "Hey Mike, a fun night indeed. It's been a night. Granted, I haven't gotten any work done, but here for those of you,
Mike, what are you working on right now?
What am I working on? I'm working on Lone Star.
Oh, okay.
2.
Oh, nice.
Here, I'll let you guys see. Da da da. Sleeping in the bed. Scary lady comes through the window when the lightning cracks. Lone Star, he's upset. Pastor says, "What's wrong, buddy?" And then they're watching the TV with the 2 girls on the bed. And then it switches back to the TV where the vampire chick tries to attack the girl. Then the hero comes crashing through the door with a cross stake in his hand.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome.
So that's page 4.
Who do you work with the colorist, or do you color it later? Or?
Oh no. John Jambari is my colorist.
Okay, cool.
Same guy that did Injustice.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I don't know if you know, but the reason so I'm doing I had this expositional stuff that I had to have going on. And I didn't want it to be, oh, look, boring expositional stuff. So I got to create a little story within the story, which is the vampire story on the TV, which they're watching. And then it sort of parallels what they're discussing so that I have something fun and exciting that we can see visually while I'm also giving the expositional stuff that needs to move the story along.
Nice. That's some Steven Spielberg stuff right there. That's good stuff.
Thanks. I think I got it from either Story by Robert McKee or Save the Cat by Blake Snyder.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Is it who's the screenwriter for shoot The Princess Bride? That guy passed away recently.
Oh, did he?
Is that Robert McGee? No, it's not.
Let me look it up.
And he wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Ooh. Did he?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. But yeah, speaking of kind of people passing away and making you think about it, that guy passing away, it might be worth. I kind of want to watch Butch Cassidy again now.
William Goldman.
Yeah, that's him.
William Goldman. Yeah. He wrote the book first, and then Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, The Ghost in the Darkness, which I might want to give that another try because I watched that. I was probably in my early 20s, and I don't know, it wasn't that big a deal to me. But his other books are so great. I might want to. Let's see. Wild Card, Princess Bride's Dreamcatcher, Hearts and Allies, General's Daughter, Absolute Power, Fierce Creatures, uncredited, Maverick.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Chaplin. That's another great one.
I think
Misery. He wrote Misery.
Oh, cool.
Good. He's good.
I think Absolute Power is Clint Eastwood and our boy. Let me see. I think. Hold on, I gotta Google it too.
Oh my gosh, he's an uncredited contributing writer for Papillon.
Oh, cool.
That was such a great movie. And they're remaking that.
Oh, I bet it could be good. It's who's Papillon?
Let me see.
I was thinking Clint Eastwood and James Woods, I think, are an absolute power. That's a good combo of actors. Both Republican. Not that it matters, but
the new one is Charlie Hunnam and Damijan Oklopolzik. I don't know. I never know how to pronounce it. Oklop.
Charlie Hunnam is pretty charismatic. He's a good actor.
The other guy is the guy from Mr. Robot.
Oh, cool.
So he plays Dustin Hoffman's role. I could see that. I'm actually interested in seeing that, even though the first version is perfect. It's going to be hard to going to be hard to compete with that particular original. Based on the books, yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see if Penny Marshall did anything that I don't remember. Scroll. Okay, I don't want. Oh. Where? Oh. Director? All right, director. Oh, she directed 4 of the episodes of Laverne and Shirley. I didn't know that. Jumpin' Jack Flash. Big. Big was only her 3rd full-length feature movie. And then Awakenings, League of Their Own, Renaissance Man, The Preacher's Wife, Riding in Cars with Boys. I don't think I saw that. And then after that, it was all TV stuff. She didn't do much since the turn of the century. I wonder why.
Yeah, maybe she kind of just retired. But those are good movies. She's talented.
Yeah.
Some classics in there.
She's great. Yeah, I mean, she was a working actress since 1953 on the Jackie Gleason Show. Okay, wait, she was a dancer on the Jackie Gleason Show. And then in 1968, she was in The Savage Seven and How Sweet It Is, Bit Parts, and then got cast in My Friend Tony as a TV series. Then came Bronson, TV series. That Girl, a couple times. And then working pretty seriously, regularly after that. Love American Style. Oh, I remember that show. Yeah, she was in a bunch of stuff up until Happy Days, then Laverne and Shirley was 1981 to 1982. Wow. Oh, yeah, I forgot. They had Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley, Fonzie Hour. And then it came back, Laverne and Shirley, 1976 to 1983. Wait, how does that work? Oh, no, that was Laverne and Shirley in the Armies, which was only 81 to 82. So that's weird. Somehow or another, they did both of those at the same time. But yeah, man, what a talent. And she worked do you ever watch Portlandia?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in there too.
Yeah, that show's hilarious.
Yeah. Odd Couple, Mother's Day, Staten Island Murder. Yeah. Well, we'll miss you, Penny Marshall, Laverne. It makes me sad. Oh well, we'll survive.
Can I share my screen for a second with?
Oh yeah. Let me click you.
This is a short comic that goes with Earthbound. So this one is called Robozan. But so this is page 2.
Tell us more.
Well, I'll show you page 1 is like the room. You got monkeys typing. Starts screeching. He gets shot by the policing monkeys, and then it's going to cut to like, or then he monkey over the bloody typewriter, and he has to start typing. And I think it's going to be revealed that it's a metaphor for like a evolving algorithm kind of, and it'll cut to 1,000 years in the future, and the monkeys will be smarter kind of, and it kind of goes from there. Just like 8 pages of this like idea kind of. But I posted this page on Twitter, and I'm like, any ideas what this is all about? And people are like, Marvel HQ.
No, it's the if you have a infinite number of monkeys banging away at an infinite number of typewriters, eventually you'll come up with War and Peace.
Yeah. That's kind of the that being a frame for an algorithm kind of thing.
All right.
But yeah, so now I'm cleaning up the background on this panel. I'm doing a little bit different workflow on this page, kind of because
the monkey behind him has no head.
Yeah, I'll have to draw that in.
Laverne and Shirley in the Army was a Saturday morning cartoon. Mark C for $5. Thank you. I forgot about that. Oh, I have only the vaguest recollection of that at all. Narwhal Books. It's about somehow being racist, says Sarkinen. Blockhead says, monkeys, I'm sold. See what am I reading? Penny Marshall was in the Odd Couple TV show as Oscar's secretary. Yeah. Gosh, she was great. I'm guessing about half of my audience knows what I'm talking about, and half of my audience has no idea who Penny Marshall is. Did Mike just say Mark and Mindy? I don't think I did. I love Laverne and Shirley. Sad to say goodbye to adorable Laverne. I'm sorry. I am just stumbling all over my words. Laverne DeFazio. Yep. Yeah, it is sad. I like the trivia of that nature. Interesting. The Army was a cartoon. Passed away due to complications from diabetes. I wonder if that's why she worked less as well. Headrock says he will never get used to your art style, Narwhal.
It's okay. He's a good... he throws shit really well, so I appreciate him.
We don't use language on the Aloha Hour.
Oh yeah, sorry. He needs to come to the Drawn and Quartered. He probably does, but
oh yeah,
yeah.
Tommy says the red is nice and dramatic. Died of the beaties. That is not cool. Yeah, that's not cool. Man, diabetes can mess you up. I'm pre-diabetic, so that's why I don't eat as much. I love carbs, man. Pasta, rice, bread, and otherwise I don't eat a lot of sugars. So the fact that I'm pre-diabetic is me loading up on carbs. So I've had to cut it down at least. Any health problems coming your way, young man?
Yeah, I definitely. It seems like something around 40 or 50. It's just everything's going to catch up with you. But I'm just trying to drink less these days. Like just drink less beer.
See, I have to drink less water because I used to chug water like all day, right? I'd probably drink like I'd probably drink a gallon of water a day easy. But apparently that is not good for high blood pressure. So yeah,
That's interesting because I would have thought that it's super healthy, but yeah.
Yeah, it seems so weird because, yeah, instead, I drink these little bottles now. I used to just chug those big old freaking bottles. Every time I drank, I would take 7 swallows. Now I take 1 swallow.
Oh, yeah.
Water holds salt. Well, I guess the more water you have in your system, the more of it is in your bloodstream, which means the higher your blood pressure is. Which is why they give you diuretics. And which is why I switched from green tea to coffee, because green tea is really, really good for you. It's really high in polyphenols, but coffee is a diuretic. So it's fun because they'll give you pills that are diuretics, to get you to pee more, to get more water out of your system, so your blood pressure is lower. And so I just drink coffee instead of tea.
Yeah.
For medical purposes.
Yeah, I see. So it's like your body's like a grape, and your grape is swole if you drink too much water.
Yeah.
You got to make it a little less pressure on inside that grape.
Yeah, this getting old thing. It's not my shtick.
Yeah, the thing I'm really not looking forward to is laying back. If I lay on my back and can feel my skin sag and sit on my face, I don't want I don't want to experience that.
Kevin B says caffeine raises blood pressure too. It also raises the dead. It also don't try to take my caffeine away from me, man. Don't do it. Too little water and you'll get kidney problems though. Dude, I've had kidney stones for 20 years now. Since 1998. My first kidney stone. I've had kidney stones and I get them chronically, and I got them when I was chugging water like a freaking elephant, and I get them now that I drink a minimal amount of water. It doesn't matter. Kidneys, stones aren't there. I was talking to you know who Ernie Reyes Jr. is?
Oh, who's that?
He was a martial artist, actor. He was one of the Ninja Turtles. But I was friends with him when we were kids, and I hadn't seen him in nearly, 4 decades. And so I went and I talked to him when I saw him at a con last year, and he's on dialysis. And I'm like, why? Well, actually, I asked him if he was an alcoholic, but but no, he said it was from high blood pressure. His kidneys quit because of high blood pressure. I'm like, freaking seriously? That's insane.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to know that. I mean, it's probably good to know that, but dang, man.
I know there's so many things that can get you, and it's expensive too.
Right? Oof. What are you gonna do?
I'm hoping that if I just make it 20 years, then they'll have invented some kind of technology to live forever, and then all you got to do then is
dude, don't you believe in Queen?
What's Queen?
The band.
Oh yeah.
Who wants to live forever?
Oh, it's not that as good as people say, living forever.
Well, maybe not in this body.
Yeah.
You should try chlorium phosphate suppositories. That sounds pleasant, Headrock. Thank you for the
I think he's joking. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. Mike's allergic to water.
Chlorium phosphate sounds like something that will melt steak.
Yeah, right. Burn a hole through the chassis with your spaceship. Can Mark C. Where's allergic to monkeys ever since the incident? Narwhal points to the second largest monkey head in the world. What?
That's where the monkey touched him, I think is what he's saying.
Oh. Saw your Batman. It was a Batman drawing. Penny Marshall had a few movie flops, then went on to TV before diagnosed for cancer. Cancer? I thought it was diabetes. Lung cancer? Oh, this poor woman. Poor woman. And was she Rob Reiner's sister?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Bethlehemian Rhapsody is a nice YouTube video. I think I've seen that actually. Guys, just eat better, LOL. I'm deep in inside jokes, don't mind me. I guess it's not possible to get the Highlander soundtrack. What? Oh, married to Meathead. Oh, Gary Marshall was her brother, and she was married to Rob Reiner.
Hey, Andrew, we're confronting our mortality on this stream. That's the theme.
Because he said just eat better.
Yeah. Have you ever
heard very well? What do you mean?
Have you heard much Norm Macdonald stand up?
I love Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, he's so funny, and he talks about death a lot.
Yeah. Have you seen Me Doing Stand Up?
Yeah.
That's such a great title.
Yeah.
What's the name of your show going to be? It's just me doing stand up.
Yeah. For how crazy his voice is, he can do really good impersonations too. Like his Larry King's really good, and he does a Quentin Tarantino that's really good.
And a Bob Dole. Don't forget his Bob Dole.
Yeah.
Bob Dole doesn't like that.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole don't like that. Bob Dole needs a drink of water.
Yeah, that's something I'm kind of not looking forward to the 2020, the next president election. I'm like rooting for Trump, but it's just going to be like, we just got over 2016 of all the lefties being kind of up in arms and really sore about it. And it's going to start all over again with and SNL is not going to be funny,
When was the last time SNL was funny?
It was like the 90s. It's true.
Yeah.
That's what I pine for in the 90s.
Yeah. SNL is always like, they may or may not have a few good jokes in the monologue, and then they front load their best material into like the first two skits. And then it's just a freaking rocket to hell after that. It's like, who sticks around for the last skit on SNL,
Yeah.
Everyone by that time of night, I think, is just exhausted and doesn't want to be there anymore or something. Norm Macdonald doing new skit talking about Michael Jackson and O.J. Simpson are some of the funniest things in life. Well, I haven't seen the new stuff, but I remember, that was the stuff he got like booted from SNL for, right? Making Michael Jackson pedophile jokes and OJ guilty jokes and stuff. I think
so. You can find them all compiled on YouTube on a channel called I'm Not Norm, and yeah, there's like 40 minutes straight of jokes about those guys.
He's so great. I love him. I wish I could get him on here.
Yeah. He's now his new stand-up. He has some Bill Cosby jokes, so he kind of goes there. It's pretty funny that he pulls it off.
He goes to the deep, dark places and mines the laughs.
Yeah.
You ever see him on like the comedy roasts?
Yeah. I saw him. The famous one he did was what's the name? The Full House guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What's his name? Is that the one where he's just sitting there reading a newspaper?
Maybe like the one I'm thinking is he's just saying the most dumbest jokes ever. Like he goes, this man has the eyes of a hawk and the heart of an eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds.
What I love about Norm is he's the comedian's comedian, right? So he's up there making what, like, the audience is just like dumbstruck, not understanding what's going on. And every comedian on the panel is just peeing their pants laughing. It's like, it's so great. I mean, he takes dad jokes to like the nth level.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not Norm channel is Aces. Oh, I'm not Norm channel. Clip versus Barbara Walters on The View 2 is also great. I gotta watch some of this stuff.
Oh, you have to watch that one. That when he goes on The View with Barbara Walters and like what he goes on, he's like, they're like, so who do you want to win the election? He goes, I like George Bush. And like, so you like Bush? He's like, yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. Plus, he's not a murderer. And it just goes on like that. It's so funny. That's like that would not happen today. No one would say that, you know, or be able to say it. But
yeah,
they could get sued or something. But it's so funny.
Oh, that's like.
Not just have you on, we have to watch it.
You have to watch the show, yeah.
Okay.
No, but sometimes, geez, this is a long minute. Sometimes, like, if you watch the show, you'll notice. Sometimes, maybe during the show, there'll be like, maybe something like sometimes like 20 minutes will pass where nobody will say anything. You know what I mean? Because it was my line. But there's ways to cover. Sometimes I'll just read a newspaper.
You've admitted that you're lazy. I think you've read 6 books in your life.
I've read 6.
6. What kind of a woman would be attracted to you, do you think?
Well, I have a lot of money.
Man, he's the best. Oh man, I'll sit here and just watch Norm Macdonald stuff all day.
Yeah, it's a decent one I put on the background sometimes if I'm drawing.
Yeah, like all his stuff on David Letterman, all the different times he was on Letterman. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, it's like 4 hours long, and that whole, there's like an arc to it too. His relationship with Letterman, it's kind of touching. You know, it ends with him crying and stuff. Yeah,
well, he was on the last episode.
Yeah,
such good stuff, man. Everyone in the chat loves Norm.
Yeah, I think
I like Norm as Burt Reynolds. Oh yeah, he does a great Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ray Thulu said, I used to love when Norm and Dennis Miller would go on each other's shows every couple of months. Those two together are insane. Yes. Did you ever listen to the Dennis Miller show?
Only like lately, and I do like him, but I missed it.
No, I mean his radio show.
Yeah, not just on YouTube. I hear him with Norm, you know. But yeah, he's good though. He was on with Bill Maher like recently, and I liked what he had to say. He's representing you know, like conservative comedians, which these days are oddly enough like funnier, you know, than Puritan liberals or whatever.
Oh no, Mighty Egbert says, Mike, you do realize that Norm is a Canadian. Hey, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. I don't know how that. That has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I missed the Dennis Miller show. I used to listen to that every single day. It was so great. And Norm would be on there pretty often.
Yeah. I watch a bunch of Scott Adams these days. Do you ever watch him?
No.
He's a good Trump, like a Trump explainer, they call him kind of, but he'll explain some of Trump's tactics, and it's an interesting take that you don't get anywhere else. But he thinks highly of Trump. He thinks he's pretty smart.
Yeah, you know who else does that is Michael Savage, who I used to listen to religiously. I listened to him every day for just years, probably decades. Uh, but yeah, in the last year or so, I haven't listened to much talk radio at all. But I did catch him the other day, and he was talking about doing a Indiegogo for the wall. Right?
Oh, that's funny.
And then I saw today, or not an Indiegogo, a GoFundMe. And then today, I saw on some news feed or something that there's a fundraiser for the wall on GoFundMe.
Did he do it, or someone just took his idea?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking probably somebody just took his idea. Just gonna do a GoFundMe search for the wall. Well, okay, that has gone up. Last donation 24 seconds ago. That has gone. Wow. Where's my phone? I need to check something. Just give me a second here. Chrome. Come on now. Oh, shoot. All right, I didn't save it on my phone. I think this has gone up like $100,000 since the last time I looked at it, like an hour and a half ago.
The wall Indiegogo.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it. It's a GoFundMe page.
And if it's not if it's a joke, $100,000 is really high for a joke.
Dude, it's not a joke. It's 405,000 right now.
Oh wow, that's funny.
I'm saying I think it was at, look at that, 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2, 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3.
The goal is 1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many backers so far?
Where do you see that? 6,559 people in 2 days.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Indie wall. Yeah. We don't need no immigration. I wonder how far they'll get.
Nanya Business says all donations from guys trying to keep out their mother-in-law.
Everyone who voted for Trump would have to give $85 each. I would give $85. I get some more money in. I'll put some money towards this. 96,000 shares. I'm gonna tweet this out right now. Tweet it out, everybody. Tweet it out. Whether you're gonna support it or not, tweet it out. Let's see. 405 763 406 358. So it went up $600 since I got it. Since I just refreshing it. That's crazy. 358. Still 358. 2 minutes ago was the last one. Yeah. This will be interesting to watch. I should bookmark it. How long does it have? I don't know. It's a GoFundMe. I think GoFundMes can just go like nonstop, can't they? Oh, look at the guy that started it. He's a double. Ooh, looks like a triple amputee, retired Air Force veteran.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sounds like. How do you know this is not a scam? I'm using my real name, my real information. You can contact me and hold me accountable. love it. Love it. But people. Yeah, it says if the 63 million people who voted for Trump each pledge $80 each, we can build the wall. That equates to roughly $5 billion. Even if we get half, that's half the wall. We can do this.
Build it instead of 20 feet tall, make it 10 feet tall. That's one of
It's got to be taller than that. It's got to be 30 feet.
That's one of the funniest lines from Trump, like a real life thing. He said it was during the election, but he's like, they told me something. So you know what I says to him? What I says, the wall just got 10 feet taller.
Yeah. I love him, man. I mean, he does say some stupid stuff, but I love that too.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like if when you don't have the derangement syndrome, because like my parents or something, they'll call me, they'll be like, you got to be freaked out now, right? And I'm like, no, it's all just funny to me, Mom. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Michael Savage, isn't he like the shock jock version of the pre-Trump Rush Limbaugh? The pre-Trump Rush Limbaugh. Savage is, I don't know if I'd call him a shock jock. I would call him a very passionate, but almost prophetic voice. I mean, that guy, the way Richard Meyer is with comics, that's the way Michael Savage is with culture. He just sees stuff that other people don't see, and he calls it out, and he's almost always freaking right. It's weird.
Who's kind of like that is Peter Thiel too. He's a libertarian and been calling it for a long time, some of the culture war stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you learn anything Marvel taught you? Marvel? That's a very odd question, None Your Business. You want to rephrase it? Savage is just more in your face than Rush. No BS. Yeah. No, Rush is very, very perceptive as well. But yeah, Savage is a little more, he's a little more New York. He's like sort of, he had his wild hippie days. He had like an entire career before he ever entered into talk radio. He was like a novelist, a botanist, what's it called? He studied disease and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember the word. Ethnobotanist or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean he's got a collection of plants like in a museum in London, which he cannot visit because they banned him from the UK because he speaks openly and clearly about the threat of Muslims in the world. And
what's his name? Or Savage, you say?
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sketch Therapy said Ron Paul too. That he's a good one.
Does he have a show?
No, he's just he's been right for a long time.
Oh, yeah. So he's rational.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah. Pathologist. Yeah. Hola, amigos. What's up, Dark Throne? Actually, dang it, it's midnight. I'm going to wrap this up, Narwhal. I appreciate you dropping over to my abode.
No problem. It's fun to chill. You and me are in the same time zone, so a lot of people go to bed, but I'm still up.
That's correct. That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it was good to have you here. Thanks everybody for being here. We do once again bid Penny Marshall a fond aloha. We love you. Hope you're in a good place and having a good time. And
Mike, can I shout out my YouTube channel real quick, guys? I have a channel called Narwhal Books, and I'm gonna drop a kind of cool video tomorrow, like a Star Wars video with original art. So see if maybe give it a look.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm sorry, falling into Destiny, that you are still awake and you need entertainment, but you're going to have to get it from somebody besides me because, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here.